same time, it does neither. Third down. A reminder coming up at the half. Chris Berman with the highlights from New York. And last night we had a chance to talk to Brett Favre, who discusses the addiction, the pain-killing addiction, the painkiller addiction that he admitted to, got treatment for. And of course, when you say got treatment for, it's not in the past tense ever, I suppose. It's a continuing treatment for the rest of your life, in effect.
As with any addiction.
We need to move this ball about 10 yards. Chris Jackie's career best is 54 yards.
3rd and 5, and it is caught at the 21 by Freeman for a first down. Antonio Freeman, and now clearly in field goal range.
And Frank, I would call that a pretty good illustration as to the strength of Brett Favre's arm.
Had it right on a string, perfectly thrown. Doesn't need to set up. Doesn't need a long stride into the ball like a lot of quarterbacks. Perfect delivery. Look at the tight spiral. That makes it so easy to catch.
31 seconds and no timeouts, and he throws into traffic, and somehow he threads it into Brooks.
Goodbye. Hello, cheeseheads. Oh, wow. You should not be able to throw the ball that well. 3 defenders there. He put it the only place you could put the ball for the completion.
They had Brooks in a triangle, and somehow the ball gets there, and 6 more for Green Bay.
This is remarkable. And a touch to it.
.26 seconds left in the half. So Philadelphia scores to get back in the game, and Green Bay says, take that.
You have to think that that same coverage, exactly the same coverage by the Eagles, 9 out of 10 times, or maybe more, Frank, is going to result in an incompletion. That's just not that bad a coverage.
Well, they had the Pack's #1 receiver double covered, and they were getting help from the inside. You can't expect much more. The defense they called was perfect. It was just a brilliant touch by somebody who was so confident in his own ability.
The safety has got to make the hit that knocks the ball loose. You can see that that second hit applied by Troy Vincent as he comes over is just a little late to knock the ball out. Of course, Vincent just a little late getting in there. But again, you just can't overemphasize what a perfectly thrown pass by Favre.
Vincent, Zordich, and Wilburn all in the neighborhood. But they were evicted.
Well, Mr. Rhodes' neighborhood will not be a good place to be at halftime.
Squib kick. Garner brings it back to the 31. Ray Rhodes can peel paint off a wall with the best of them. I mean, I guess Mike Ditka could peel it better than anybody in the 80s. And Rhodes can do it in the 90s.
He can do it by looking at it.
Yes, he can. Yes, he can laser it right off the wall.
I guarantee you, this Eagle team will not come out and lay down in the second half.
No, but you know something interesting about Ray Rhodes. Sometimes when you're getting it put to you this badly, yelling doesn't do any good. Sometimes you let your team know that you support them, that you're with them. You know they're having a bad night. You also get the point across that this type of performance in the second half isn't acceptable.
We haven't had that kind of performance in the first half since '87 under Buddy Ryan, as the catch is made by Kevin Turner with 16 seconds remaining in the half.
And how many players on this team, Al, played for Buddy Ryan?
0.
Isn't that something?
It's incredible. The amazing thing, too, I mean, Richie Kotite is there in December of '94, and there are only 9 guys, 9 out of 53 left from Kotite's team.
It is Ray Rhodes' team. Although I'm not sure he wants to claim it in the first half.
You couldn't get a makeover like that if you went to Elizabeth Arden every day of the week. I mean, he just came in and totally cleaned house. And that's almost picked by Evans, as Chris T. Jones was the intended receiver. 2nd and 10.
Rodney coming off a game in which he was absolutely sensational last week against the Redskins in the first half. The Eagles struggling in the second half, but pulling that game out 17-14.
11 seconds left. Eagles actually with a 3rd and 1 here after the 9-yard gain to Turner. So you're not looking for the first down. You got to air it out if you're Rodney Peete. at this point. And he'll attempt to, and he throws to the sideline, and that's intercepted. It's intercepted by Corey Dowden out of Tulane. And it gives Green Bay a chance, if they so desire, to launch one into the end zone.
Well, we might get a look at Brett's strong arm if they throw one up down towards the end zone, looking for the foul.
Well, last year we said the Eagles had 16 turnovers, or the Packers created 16 turnovers, 16 takeaways all year. They already have 10 in 6 quarters this season.
As Ty Detmer, who was with the Green Bay Packers for several years, came to Philadelphia this year. Oh, look at that. Look at that arm.
He's going to launch it. Looking for Freeman. Tip, and almost caught by Beebe. Beebe almost caught it.
You know, he threw that ball about almost 70 yards.
And not only did he throw it 70 yards, but he threw it exactly where he wanted to throw it.
I was hoping they'd do that. I just wanted to see it.
Monday Night Football has returned to Green Bay for the first time in 10 years. And it's Christmas in September for this crowd. What a half.
That easily could have been a touchdown. Right into the chest of Tom Beebe.
30-7 at the half. Back we come after this message from the NFL in a word from our ABC station. Back will give Philadelphia the ball at the 20-yard line as Craig Hentrick boots the second half kickoff into the end zone, and Rodney Peete and the Eagles take over at the 20-yard line. Reggie White and the Green Bay defense. And a 23-point Packer lead as Pete gives the ball to Ricky Waters, who picks up about 3. It'll be 2nd and 7. And Reggie White and a former teammate, Ed West, get into a little pushy-shovey. West played here for a lot of years. Let's get a word from Lynn Swan. Lynn?
Well, I talked to Ray Rhodes, and of course he talked about making the right adjustments on offense and defense and stopping the bleeding, which means you stop the turnover and put more than a Band-Aid in the Green Bay Packer offense. But he said what his team had to do on offense, since they had the ball first, was score. He said emotionally they needed to get back in this ball game. Al?
All right, Lynn, so we'll see if they stay in what would be their game plan. At least they began this drive by running the ball, and now they'll go to the air on 2nd down and 6, and they swing it out. And a pass to Garner, and he's out of bounds shy of the first down. It'll be 3rd and a long 2.
Eagles using a lot of Charlie Garner in the backfield with Ricky Waters, both good receivers coming out of the backfield and both capable of giving you a big play, and they certainly need one. Charlie Garner averaged over 5 yards a carry a year ago.
Green Bay leading 30-7 as the Pack tries to go 2-0. 3rd down and 2. Pete into traffic, tried to find Waters, and he was well covered. Mike Pryor in the neighborhood, and Wayne Simmons as well. It'll be 4th and 2. So 3 and out, exactly what Ray Rhodes didn't want to happen to start the second half.
I'm sure John Gruden didn't particularly like that read on the part of Rodney Peete. Good coverage on the intended receiver, Ricky Waters.
Tommy Hutton averaging 48 yards a kick tonight. Desmond Howard back to receive it. An angled kick and a beauty, 53 yards to the 19, and the Heisman Trophy winner from Michigan runs all the way across the field, breaks loose, and has to get by Hutton, which he does, and gets run down at the 33 with a flag down all the way back at the Green Bay 28-yard line.
There you go, Dan. Little excitement.
Yeah, but it's coming back.
Yeah, he's certainly a talent that can do it at any time. He ran one back in the preseason. It really kind of cemented his spot on the Green Bay roster. Illegal use of the hands going to bring it back, but Desmond was a guy that very much on the bubble here with the Packers. Ran a punt back, kind of gave a glimpse to the coaching staff of what kind of excitement he can bring.
Illegal block in the back. Number 25 on the return team on the run back. That's a 10-yard penalty. First down.
He said 25, but that was Dorsey Levens. Not quite sure of that.
No, Levens
could be, yeah.
A guy that participates on special teams.
See if we can catch it here.
There's Levens. And there is the block in the back. I think
have to have that head in front.
You sure do. Here's a better look at it on Zomalt. And yes, that's quite definitely a block from behind.
Now the Pack from the 18-yard line. 13-18 left in the third quarter. Green Bay up by 23. And they begin with Edgar Bennett exploiting a big hole. The 25 behind a William Henderson block. And gents, the last time we saw the Eagles was in that wild card playoff game where they annihilated Detroit. They led at the half, did the Eagles, 38-7. And here it is 9 months later, and they're down 30-7.
And what we're seeing, I think, is a continuation of a trend by the Packers of when they want to run the football, they're running it right at Mike Mamula, the very active but undersized defensive end, and they're getting good blocking by Gary Brown and Aaron Taylor over on the left side. And they're making some mileage over there. 2nd and 3, the fake to Bennett, and Fuller chases Favre, and his pass is incomplete, intended for Chimura. 3rd and 3. Mamula had a pair of sacks last week. He was their #1 draft choice last year, and this guy is excitement in the defensive end position, but he doesn't have a lot of lead in his pants at 252 pounds. And if you are going to run the football, William Fuller is not the guy you go after. You go after Mamula on the far side.
And these linebackers behind him, Thomas, good pass defender, a lot of speed, but he's only 220 pounds, and he usually is lined up behind Mike Mamula, and they have been blowing him out of there also. Favre on 3rd and 3, and it's incomplete, and there's a flag as Edgar Bennett says, hey, come on. That was held, and the official said you were. By James Willis. So instead of a punt, we're going to be picking up first down.
Pass interference. Number 50 on the defense. That's the first down.
James Willis, the former Packer, not complaining about it.
Right behind the official there, number 50. Let's track him as he comes on across.
I would think so.
Yeah, from that angle, you could see Brooks move.
Far from the 28, trying to set up a screen or whatever develops.
Mamula's still after him.
Yeah, and finally gets him, but Brett gets back to the 30-yard line for a 3-yard gain, and Rhett Hall delivers a blow.
Brett gets up, and he's really after Bernie Kukar. He thought that Mamula was late in landing on him. This crowd, I think, being just a little overprotective. Rhett Hall from the front, Mamula from behind.
Our team get away from this first charge of Mamula, though. Nothing dramatic, just a little slide. His feet are so quick back there.
All right, now watch. From the left comes Hall. We'll take a look at it after this play.
It is 2nd down and 8. Here is Bennett. And another hole big enough to send him to the 40 and a 10-yard gain and a first down.
A little quick draw, really effective.
Here's the conclusion of that last play. Let's watch Brett Favre as he comes up on the scramble. From the left will come Rhett Hall. From behind is Mamula. All right, there's both of them get there about the same time, and really, that's, you know, quarterbacks wear shoulder pads too and a helmet. They're allowed to get hit. I don't think that's anything to get excited about, but the crowd certainly did.
1st and 10 from the 40. Here's Levens. Nothing happening. Loss of 2. Rhett Hall breaks the play up with 11 minutes to go in the third quarter in Lambeau Field, site of Monday Night Football for the first time since September of 1986, when the Bears came in and beat him 25-12 on a night that I recall is the night Tim Lewis ended his career with a spinal injury. Budding career nipped by an injury to a very fine defensive back for the Packers.
One guy I know for sure was here then. He's the backup quarterback for the Green Bay Packers.
Jimmy Mack. There he is.
There he is.
On the left. 2nd and 12. And Bennett, who went over 1,000 yards last year up to the 46-yard line to make it 3rd and 4.